Good afternoon, everybody. Phil Simons here with Columbia Grain and your Friday afternoon weekly grain market recap. Well, before we dive into the numbers, we do want to stop and say thank you to all the veterans out there for all your sacrifices and services to our great country. Thank you very much. Well, another week is in the books, highlighted by the monthly USDA supply and demand numbers, along with the midterm elections. The USDA supply and demand numbers really did come in line with the overall pre-report estimates this month, with a few exceptions coming in a little bit stronger yield for potential corn and soybeans. But let's go ahead and dive into the numbers here. And I am going to share my screen with you just so we can take a look at the numbers together. So if we navigate to columbiagrain.com, we will be taken to our homepage. And again, if you navigate to the upper right-hand section to where Producer Solutions is at, and that's where we do house all of our information in terms of the latest USDA information and just general information for the trade. But down at the bottom of this section, we did have the winter wheat conditions report that was released out on Monday. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we do see that the good to excellent ratings for winter wheat did come out a little bit stronger than where we were last week. And we did see a 2% increase to 30% good to excellent. Now, again, this is a little bit of an increase from last week, but we're still 15% behind where we were last year at this pace, or last year at this time, rather. And in similar fashion, I mean, if you take a look at the last 10 years, 30% good to excellent would be one of the lowest ratings that we have seen. So this is definitely helping to support the wheat complex to some degree. Now, the other thing that we had come out this week was the November supply and demand report. And again, the biggest factor did come in potential corn and soybean yield estimates. So if we take a look at that, we do see that last month, the average estimate was coming in at 171.9 bushel to the acre for corn. And in this week's report, we did see a little bit of an increase up to 172.3 bushel to the acre for corn. Over on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see the soybean yield in October was at 49.8 bushel to the acre. And in the latest report from the USDA, they are showing a 50.2 bushel to the acre potential yield for soybeans. So again, just a little bit of a surprise from the USDA report. But other than that, that was the biggest surprise in the overall numbers that we did see. Now, how that's the bigger impact is going to be how that is going to translate for corn in terms of export sales and the pace that we've been seeing. Right now, if we on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see that the current estimates from the USDA for overall U.S. corn sales are 2.1 billion bushels. If we take a look at the marketing year-to-date sales that we have on the books, we have 580 million bushels sold. So if we just do the math on that, we can see that we need to have 36.5 million bushels sold every week from here on out in order to meet the current estimates that the USDA has for us. And when we take a look at what we actually sold last week, we can see that we had 10.4 million bushels getting reported as in terms of overall corn sales. So you can see that we are significantly behind the pace needed in order to hit the current estimates from the USDA anyhow. The other important thing that we wanted to take a look at this week is the calendar year-to-date ranges that we've seen in the overall futures markets, because we have seen just some massive ranges. And we just want to highlight again the importance of getting your orders out there and working and to take advantage of these swings while they're there. But if we start on the left-hand side, we can see that the year-to-date range for December corn has been $2.24, and the year-to-date change has been up $1.10 from where we started in January. Next, if we take a look at January beans, we can see that the year-to-date range has been $3.10. And the year-to-date change, we've been able to actually hold on to $1.75 more than where we started the year out for January soybeans. Next up, the wheat complex. Wheat complexes has just some massive trading ranges this year. We can see that Kansas has had a year-to-date trading range of $6.13 But the year-to-date change from where we started the year to where we closed today, we are actually $1.31 higher than where we were on January 3rd of this year. Similar fashion, December Chicago wheat, the year-to-date range has been $5.39, but the year-to-date change, we've only been able to hold on to 41 cents higher than where we started the year out on January 3rd. Same thing over in Minneapolis. The year-to-date range has been $5.50, but the year-to-date change is we've gained 42 cents on the year from where we started on January 3rd. So again, just highlighting the fact of getting your orders out there and working, because these ranges that we have been seeing have just been massive, and your orders do work for you regardless of what you're doing. But again, just the same thing on calendar year to date, your high, lows, and then where we closed today. You can see that on corn, we're pretty much in the middle of the range between the high and the low. On beans, kind of similar fashion, we're right in the middle of that overall range. But on wheats, you can see that we're actually in the lower third of where we've seen the high ranges on the futures markets anyhow. So again, just wanting to show the importance of getting your orders out there and working to take advantage of these price swings that we're seeing. And remember to get your orders out there, because regardless of what you're doing, your orders are working for you. And we have seen it help remove a lot of the emotion behind pulling the trigger, on your sales. And again, we do want to thank all the veterans out there for their services and sacrifices that they have made for our securing our everyday freedoms. Again, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk with you next week.